All right, we're live. We're live. Just wait one more minute here. If anybody joins us.
Nobody's here.
Ooh, someone's here.
Here.
Someone's there, you see? It says somebody's here.
Can't see them.
Here.
I can't see them. Can't see them.
Okay.
Just see.
Yeah, we're going to wait another minute. See who else shows up. And then we'll get started. Okay. All right. Second, where are you going? No one could see you picking your nose. Okay, 30 more seconds. And we'll start.
Now please start. Now.
See, one more moment.
Come.
Come?
Yeah.
Afterwards, okay?
Afterwards, that.
If you answer all.
And then come.
Mm-hmm. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Good to see you. So, an announcement just before we start. This is going to be the last live stream video we do before Pesach. And then after Pesach, maybe we'll do a whole new series on something else, which I'm just thinking about what we could do it on. Whatever it is that we're going to do it on, stay tuned, and it will definitely be worthwhile.
I can't see them.
It'll be different, but it'll be good, just as good. Okay, and I'm thinking about doing something that you'll be able to learn a lot of really cool things from.
Now come. Have a treat.
No, not yet. Okay, all right. So let's just recap everything we've been talking about. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Recap from the top. Here we go. All right. Here, put these on. Okay, recap from the top. Here we go. What does it mean to be a slave? Somebody who's a slave. It means that nobody cares about you. It means nobody cares about you, and you're unimportant, and people can treat you like dirt and like nothing because you are nothing. And so when we were avadim, slaves in Mitzrayim, they treated us like dirt. Even so much, we didn't talk about this, but the Medrash tells us that if they ran out of bricks one day while building, they would just use a person instead of a brick, because Jewish people were not looked at as people by the Mitzrayim. They were looked at as just things. And if you're just a thing, you really don't matter.
Come my treat.
Soon.
Now.
Then you have to go get it. Okay. So being a slave means that you don't matter and people treat you like you don't matter. I can't right now. So the opposite of this, of being a slave, is to be cheres, to be free. But not just to be free, but to have importance, because now it's the opposite. So you're important, you matter. Okay. 1 second. So the opposite of being an eved would be being someone who is free, but what that would mean is that you have ultimate importance. You have the ultimate significance to your life. Your life matters, it has a ton of meaning. And the only way we achieve that and to have any sort of meaning is to be connected and to be in connection with Hashem, who is the source and meaning of everything, because he's the creator of everything. And that only happens by getting a Torah. So what does the Seder do? The Seder makes us relive and feel what it feels like to be unimportant and then go to be totally important. This is what the Haggadah says, or what the halachos say, of going from genai l'shvach, from being a genai, like meaningless nothing, to shavach, like the word shavach, being praiseworthy and something of importance. So we go from being unimportant to important, and we have to feel that. The more we do, the more we do actions and activities at the Seder that make us feel like these things, the more it's going to impact us, the more it's going to affect us, the more we're actually going to feel unimportant and then important by what Hashem did for us. And that's what the Seder is there for. That's what all the things we use at the Seder are there for. Now, we started by saying that the that sorry, step back. Now, in order to be Hashem's people, we have to become a people. And that only happens through the promise Hashem made to Avram Avinu when he asked, how will I know? What are you going to make my children a people? And Hashem introduced Avram Avinu, Avram, our forefather, to the concept of galus, of exile. And that comes in two forms. One, where the Goyim, the other nations, try to make us a part of them, and so we lose our Jewish identity, our Torah identity, and that's the galus of Lavan. And then there's the galus of Paro, where they come and they're like the bully who tries to get us. But the outside pressure fixes us together, and we come together. And that was the story we gave of the two boys or two girls in the playground, and the bullies come around them. They're total strangers, but once they're under attack, they get together. And so we talked about what happens, what that looks like, how we get together, and what happens to us once we get together to become the Jewish people. We grow, we become very distinct. People recognize that we're special. People listen and look to what we're doing, and we develop. And all our development as Jewish people happens in these galuses. And so then we started talking about, now that we're in Galus, specifically the Galus of Mitzrayim, what it was like. And it was terrible. Paro had all the people look at us and create this illusion, this thought amongst the Egyptian people that we were like nothing. We were less than human, and slowly but surely took away more and more of our freedoms until we were like absolute nothing to them. And we were working all the time. There was never time to think or to be free to think of anything. It was working. You were woken up early in the morning and went to bed totally exhausted, only to be woken up the next day, never able to think for yourselves. And so Hashem, so now we understand how worthless we felt. And then the Haggadah now changes over to telling about how Hashem, not only did he just take us out, but he punished those that were hurting us to show us how much he cared about us. And that was the story we gave of the bully bullying you in school. There's two options: just switch you to another school and the bully's done with, or not switch you and take care of the bully, do exactly to the bully what he did to you. Shows how much he cares. And so the more we go through the makos, the more we talk about the makos, the more we realize how many things happen in the makos, the more details we go into, the more we see how much Hashem actually cared about us to do these things. Okay? So that's where we're at. And now I want to talk about one more thing. Two more things. Okay? Two more things. First is Kriyas Yam Suf. Because really, when it comes to Pesach and the Haggadah we talk about in the Haggadah 2, the Kriyas Yam Suf, when Hashem split the Yam Suf for us so we can cross over, it wasn't just that. The important part of that nace was not that Hashem split it open for us. It's what happened to the Mitzrim and what we saw happen to the Mitzrim afterwards. It says that when we crossed, after we finished crossing, Hashem made, okay, so what happened was, we leave Mitzrayim. 7 days later, so the last day of Pesach, we're down by the Yam Suf. We're on the shores of the water, and the Egyptians are right behind us, and they got their arrows drawn, flying arrows, catapults. We're being protected, but they're right there. It's getting scary. And Hashem, so the people say to Moshe, Moshe, what do we do? He says, you got to daven to Hashem. And Hashem says, don't daven, just go in. So they walk into the Yam Suf, and the Yam Suf splits. All the Jewish people are able to go through on totally dry land. They got water, food, beautiful. Everything's fantastic. Hashem makes the Mitzrim come in after them, and it is horrific for the Mitzrim. It's crazy. Not only is it dark, but all the floor is thick mud that the horses and the chariots are sinking into and being crushed under. They're falling over. Horses are crushing Mitzrim. If you're not a Mitzri, it's hilarious. If you are, it's not very funny at all. And the mud is boiling. It's terrible. When the Jewish people get on the other side, Hashem makes the Yam Suf fall in, all the water fall in, crushing and destroying all the end of the Mitzrim and Paro. And the Jewish people wonder, they think, we're told the Medrash says that they thought that just like we came out on one side, the Egyptian people were coming out on the other side. So Hashem made all the chariots and the armor and the Egyptians wash up on the shore. All the ones that were destroyed in the Yam Suf wash up on the shore, so the Jewish people would see. Now you got to ask yourself: did the Jewish people? Why did Hashem need to do this? Why did He need to wash them up on the shore? Why did He need to wash up the Egyptian army up onto the shore? And what were the Jewish people looking for what was their thoughts when they thought that, hey, they came out on the other side? What was going on here? Yeah, it's funny. What was going on? Anybody? Do anybody answers here? Okay, so the Egyptian people were thinking what the boy who just gets moved to the other school might have been thinking. Okay, my parents took me out of here and I'm safe now. But the Egyptians, yeah, it's funny. The Egyptians are just back on the other side and they're like sipping their drinks. They had a great time too in the Yam Suf. I hope they all brought their bathing suits. It was a great time on the beach, right? Jewish people just thought, okay, Hashem took us out, but the Egyptians are okay too. So Hashem washing up the Egyptian dead onto the shore with all the chariots and everything showed the Jewish people that no, Hashem took care of them once and for all. He cares about you so much. He wants to show you he took care of them. Don't worry, he took care of them. Now, why did Hashem have to do Kriyas Yam Suf? Why did He have to do that? Wasn't it enough just to do what He did to Mitzrayim? Even to the point that we say the Kriyas Yam Suf was like, He was extra. It was extra. It was on top of what happened in Mitzrayim. Why did Hashem have to go so above and beyond and do this whole thing with the Mitzrayim? I mean, it's funny, as everybody seems to think, right? It's funny. The Egyptians getting stuck in the mud and crushed under their horses and boiling muddy water and water coming crashing down on them, right? Okay. It's pretty funny. It's like putting Egyptians in a washing machine, right? You get to watch through the window. Um, but why? Why do this extra thing? I mean, we already saw that Hashem was punishing them and not the Jewish people. So why? Why this extra thing? Why something extra? Why this extra entertainment at the Yam Suf? See if anybody take a guess. Why something extra? What does it show? What else does it show us with this extra thing? Extra, almost unexpected event, this unexpected miracle that happened. Who's got some answers? Let's throw out some answers here. Because it's funny. Yeah, okay. Because it's funny. Good. Jewish people are funny. We needed a good laugh. It was really hard in Mitzrayim. First thing you want to do when you get out is get a good laugh. Maybe. What else? Some other things we could think of. Why this extra miracle of Kriyas Yam Suf? The splitting of the Reed Sea.
Mommy.
So let's answer with another short mashal, a short parable story. Okay. You're at home, stuck at home, nowhere to go, kind of like today. And you're going to be at home for a long time. So your father tells you, look, you're going to be at home for quite some time. You might get cabin fever. Have you ever heard that one? Cabin fever is where you're stuck inside all the time and you start to go a little loopy. I'm going to make a chart, a big chart with all the things that you need to do, chores and work and clean up, all these things that you need to do. If you do them every day, you do them, or for each, let's say every time you do something, you get a gold star or check or whatever it is. Make up your own thing, okay? Every time you get 5 gold stars, you get a prize. You're to get something, money, a toy, whatever it is, okay? A turtle, okay? Every time you get 5 stars, you get a turtle. Maybe you'll get a lot. You'll have like 20 turtles by the end, okay? But maybe every 5 stars, the more you do, the better you are, the more you're going to get. The prize is going to get bigger. So it starts off that you're going to get like a little turtle. And then you get 10 stars, you're going to get a bigger turtle. And then once you get 100 stars, you get a turtle that's size of a car or something, okay? Or you get a lot of money, whatever you want to say. So now you're going to be at home for 3 weeks. So every 5 stars, you get another prize, and you keep it up. Another 5 stars, bigger prize. You keep going, and finally you get to 100 stars, and it's time you're to go get the big prize. Okay, you were so good, did your whole chart, you earned the highest level of prize. We're gonna go. Your father says tomorrow we're gonna go take you to get a big prize. So the next day comes, you get in the car, and you go drive to the store to get your prize. And maybe it's that turtle. It's the size of your house now, okay? Because you got 100 stars. You go to the store, you get the prize. Your father buys it for you. You have to stuff it in the trunk. It's so big, okay? And on the way back home from getting your giant prize, your father says, well, let's just pull in here for a minute. And you pull into a store. It's an ice cream store. And he gets you a little ice cream, just a little cup of little ice cream, and it's delicious. And then you go home. So here's a question. Let's see what everybody thinks. What means more to you? The big prize? Let's rephrase that. Which thing that your father did for you means more to you? the big prize that you earned, or getting the little ice cream on the way home? What means more to you? What would you say? Which action that your father did means more to you? What do you all have to say? The giant turtle that he bought because you got 100 stars, or the little ice cream on the way home? What do you say? Or are we still laughing at the mitzvah? That's pretty funny. Take a guess. Giant turtle. Okay. Again, let's clarify again. Which which thing that your father which thing that your father does for you do you appreciate more? Do you appreciate the giant turtle he buys you, or or going to buy the ice cream? Which do you appreciate more? Not the ice cream or the turtle, but which um which action that your father does for you do you appreciate more?
Can you turn chip and potato for me?
On here?
No, it's dead already.
Oh, soon. Okay. Soon. Okay.
Can I turn on
Let me propose this.
Can I watch it?
Let me propose which is you care more about, which is more significant to you. Yes, the giant turtle's awesome. Huge giant turtle. So let me explain a little bit. Maybe my story's not so clear. The giant turtle's awesome. Love the giant turtle. But the thing is that you are expecting the giant turtle. Your father said, you do all your chores and you get all the stickers, you're going to get the giant turtle. So you expect it. It's what he said that he would do for you because you've done something. So you expect that you are going to get it. But once you got it and you're on your way home and he stops to get you that little bit of ice cream, it's totally unexpected. You didn't do anything to deserve that. You didn't expect that. Why did he have to do that? He didn't have to do that. The turtle, getting you the giant turtle, he had to do because he said, if you do these things, I'm going to do this. But getting the ice cream, he didn't have to do it. But why did he do it? Why did he go and get you that extra ice cream? What's the answer? Why did he go to get you that little extra ice cream when he didn't have to? Why did your father do that? Your father or mother or guardian, whoever you want to input here. Why did he do that? He did it because he loves you, or she did it because she loves you. Didn't have to do it, but they went out of their way to do it to show you that it's not just about the things you're doing for me. It's that I don't buy just but get you things because you do things. I get you things because I love you. I just want to show you how much I love you. When Hashem now imagine it was the other way around. Imagine if you got 100 stars and you just got ice cream, but then he went and got you a giant turtle, right? All the more so that would be like, wow, he really loves me. So the same thing is going on in Mitzrayim. Hashem punishes the Mitzrayim because he has to. He told Avram, don't worry. He told Avram, I'm going to take care of those people that afflict the Jewish people. So he had to. But doing what he did at Kriyas Yam Suf, that giant gesture, that giant action of turning on the washing machine and letting the Egyptians go round and around and around, okay? Smashing into each other, the boiling mud. So that was extra, and that showed the Jewish people that it wasn't just doing something because I had to. I was doing it because beyond the promise I made to Avram, I also care about you. This isn't just about fulfilling a promise to Avram Avinu. It's about doing something for you to show you that I love you. It's not just about this promise. And that's important. That's why Pesach ends with the seventh day having been when Kriyas Yam Suf happens. Pesach could have just been one day, like Shavuos, just that one first day. It didn't have to be first day when we left and then something at the end. It didn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be 7 days. But it ends 7 days later because that's when Kriyas Yam Suf happens. And Kriyas Yam Suf is just as important to the idea of Pesach as the Seder when we left is. Because we left because Hashem promised we would leave. But that doesn't show me that he's doing it for me. Maybe he's just taking us out for Avram Avinu because he cares about Avram Avinu, not about me. No, Kriyas Yam Suf shows us that Hashem not only, it wasn't just about the promise, it's because he cares about you. He cares about all the Jewish people. He has an intense love and care for all the Jewish people. Okay? That's Kriyas Yam Suf. And I just want to reiterate, I just want to say over one thing. I think we talked about it in the first one, but maybe we didn't. The only reason why we were taken out of Mitzrayim was so that we can get the Torah. That's the whole point. And Pesach is only the beginning. It's just the beginning of the process. On the second night of Pesach, we start counting. What do we start counting? Who knows? Who's got this one? It's almost be like the halacha too. Second night of Pesach, we start counting. What are we counting? Who's got this? We're counting stars in the sky, Egyptians on the beach. What are we counting? We start counting for Sfiras HaOmer. And Sfiras HaOmer, that's right, very good. Sfiras HaOmer, we're counting towards something. We're counting towards Shavuos. Shavuos is the day we get the Torah. So Pesach only starts what is a 50-day process leading to Shavuos. Because Pesach is only there to start our journey towards getting the Torah. And the Torah is the thing that connects us to Hashem, that allows us to have a relationship and a connection to Him, which ultimately gives us any sort of significance or meaning at all. We can't stop being a slave if we're not heading towards receiving a Torah. And so we have to keep that in mind, that everything that's happening at the Seder and everything that happens during Pesach is only so that we can be on our way to Shavuos to getting the Torah. So let's maybe, since we talked about Sfira, let's just quickly tell the halacha of Sfira. When you start counting on the day of the first day before the first night, or the day before you're going to count the next day, you can't mention what tonight is going to be. What is that emoji? You can't mention what tonight's going to be. You have to say what the last night was, because otherwise it might be considered having counted, and you would have done it without a bracha. So you always have to say what the night before was, so that you don't say what the tonight is, and you would not have said it with a bracha. If you miss a night, let's say it's the first night and you forgot to count Sfiras HaOmer, so the next day you can just say it without the bracha. You can say what the day is, and then that next night you can count again with a bracha. But if you miss if you miss counting one night and you don't catch up the next day, you can't continue with a bracha, because not only do you have to count 50 days, it's not only just counting each day, but there's also the mitzvah. In order to say a bracha on the mitzvah, you have to be counting the full 50, 7 weeks of 7. But if you do miss, and now you're not saying with a bracha, that doesn't mean that, hey, no bracha, so I can stop counting now. No, you still have to count, just without a bracha, but you still have to be counting. You can't just stop counting because you can't do a bracha anymore. You still have to be counting. The best would be is if someone else is still counting with a bracha, someone's still counting with a bracha. All these crazy emojis people are doing. I don't even know what that means. But if you know someone who's counting with a bracha, listen to their bracha, say amen, and then you do the counting, so you can be in on their bracha. Okay, so that's the end. Everyone have an amazing Pesach. I hope I've been able to impart stuff on you and teach you stuff you might never have heard. And I hope that you take it with you, and that that all those crazy emojis, and that your Pesach and your Seder is really, really special and meaningful. This year is going to be special because of everything that's going on. It is going to be very special. After Pesach, tune in, because I think I want to start something else that's going to be all about things that we need to know in order to get a Torah, so that we're on our way. Okay? So, great to see everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Share and like the videos. Let other people know, and we will be back on the other side of Pesach, hopefully. And stay safe and have a great Yam Tov, a great Chag Sameach. We'll see you later.